I've seen it happen. A passenger just like you makes a silly joke to the TSA agent, and suddenly they're pulled aside. As a 13-year flight attendant, I'm going to tell you the 5 innocent phrases that can turn your vacation into a nightmare. And that is exactly why I'm here. I built this channel to stop that hard-earned vacation, that $1,000 trip, from being ruined by one innocent word in the wrong place. If you, like me, want to be a rule-following, respectful, but smart traveler, then hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon right now. Because the secrets I'm sharing today could literally keep you out of trouble. All right, let's get into it. Why am I so serious about this? Why is one innocent joke such a big deal? You have to understand. The Airport Security Checkpoint, TSA, or its equivalent in any country, is not a normal place. It's not a bank teller's window. It's not a grocery store checkout. It is not a place staffed by friendly customer service representatives. It is a security checkpoint, staffed by serious, trained federal law enforcement officers who are looking for the one dangerous anomaly among thousands of people every single day. Their job is not to laugh with you. Their job is not to get your sense of humor. Their job is to stop a potential threat at the slightest indication. These officers are tired. They stand for 8 hours a day, dealing with thousands of stressed, confused, and sometimes rude passengers. They are trained not to understand jokes. They are trained to hear keywords. And your innocent joke might just be the red alert word in their training manual. As experienced travelers, 45 and over, you know what our biggest risk is? It's comfort. It's the "I've done this a million times" ease. Or it's the desire to break a nervous moment with a little humor. Here are the 5 innocent phrases I have witnessed over my 13-year career that have ruined people's vacations. And sometimes, they're criminal records. If you're ready, let's start with the first mistake you can never, ever make. Phrase 1. Using the B word or any variation. As a joke, this one seems like the most obvious on the list. Oh, Catherine, of course we know not to say bomb. Do you? Then why do hundreds of people every single year get arrested or face massive fines for using the word bomb in an airport? Where's the innocent part? The innocent part is that nobody actually says, "I have a bomb in my bag." What they do is make a joke around the word, the innocent versions, what passengers think. The TSA agent notes the bag is heavy. The passenger laughs. "Ha ha ha, don't worry, there's no bomb in there." The bag gets pulled for a search. The passenger makes a nervous joke. "You're so slow. If it was a bomb, it would have gone off by now." Or the worst, talking to a friend. "My mom packed this bag so full it's going to explode like a bomb." You cringe when you hear these, right? But people say stupid things when they're nervous. And the second they say that word, the game is over. Why it's dangerous. The insider info. For the TSA, the word bomb is a zero-tolerance word. It is a magic bad word. The officer has no luxury to interpret your intent, to decide if you're joking, or to think you seem like a nice person. The moment they hear that word, that officer, by protocol, is required to hit a button and start a process. You saying "I was just kidding" changes nothing. It's too late. The incident I saw, Catherine's story, I was at Orlando, MCO. One of the happiest airports in the world, full of families going to Disney. A family was in front of me, mom, dad, 2 little kids. The father's backpack was pulled for a secondary screening. The dad, clearly stressed, turned to his kids, then laughed loudly to the TSA agent and said, "Don't worry, it's just full of diapers, not a bomb." All the air went out of the room. The TSA agent, without ever taking his eyes off the man, just tapped something on his screen. He didn't even approach the guy. Within 2 minutes, 2 police officers, not TSA airport police, showed up. They gently but firmly took the man by the arm and said, "Sir, you need to come with us." I watched the mother and her children. The vacation was over before it even started. The consequence. What will happen to you? Best case scenario. You are taken to a private screening room. They will search everything. Your bags will be taken apart. You will miss your flight. Worst case scenario. You are arrested for making a terroristic threat, a federal offense, or interfering with security operations. You will face thousands of dollars in fines and potentially be put on the no-fly list. All for one innocent joke. What to do? The solution. Remove this word and all its cousins, explode, detonate, fuse, from your vocabulary the moment you set foot on airport property, from the parking garage, until the moment you land and are out of the terminal, even in the taxi line. Just don't say it. Phrase 2. The smuggling or contraband joke. This is the one that so many nice 45-plus passengers fall for, because they don't use it to mean a crime. They use it as a term of endearment or minor mischief. The innocent versions. What passengers think. You're coming back from Italy. You have some amazing Parmesan cheese in your bag. The officer asks, "Any food items to declare?" You chuckle, "Just smuggling a little cheese." "I'm smuggling in some Cuban chocolates for my grandkids." You bought a bottle of whiskey at the duty-free. You text your friend, and the officer sees the screen. "Got the contraband." Why it's dangerous. The insider info. If the B word is for the TSA, the word smuggling is for Customs and Border Protection, CBP. And in most international terminals, these two agencies work side by side. When you say jokingly smuggling, the only word they hear is smuggling. They are not trained to think you mean cheese. They are trained to assume you mean narcotics, tens of thousands in undeclared cash, illegal agricultural products, or worse. This word is the polite way of saying, "Please search all of my bags and treat me like a criminal." The incident I saw, Catherine's story, Miami, MIA. Miami is a major hub for intercepting drugs and illicit goods. Security there has zero sense of humor about this. A lovely, grandmotherly woman in her 70s was in front of me. As her carry-on was being screened, the agent asked, "Any food in the bag, ma'am?" The woman smiled and said the fatal words, "Oh dear, I'm just smuggling a little white powder." She was talking about powdered sugar cookies from her hometown. She said smuggling white powder to a security agent in Miami. I cannot describe the look on her face when 2 seconds later, she was surrounded by 3 officers. She started to panic. "It's a joke! Cookies!" which only made it worse. They took her to the private room. Those cookies, her entire bag, everything went for chemical testing. Of course, it came back clean, but she missed her flight. She didn't fly out that day, and she probably had the most humiliating experience of her life. The consequence. What will happen to you? Instant secondary screening, a full manual search of all luggage, right down to your underwear, a guaranteed to miss your connection delay, and if you do have an undeclared food item, like a prohibited cheese or meat, you will get a fine for hundreds of dollars. What to do? The solution. Be plain, boring, and honest. Anything to declare? Yes, some cheese and chocolate. What kind of cheese? Hard Italian cheese. Never use the words smuggle, sneak, hide, or contraband. Be boring. Boring is your best friend in a security line. Praise 3. Sarcasm about weapons or threats. This is a trap for the slightly more impatient or know-it-all passenger. When 45-plus travelers find a rule to be illogical, they love to point it out with sarcastic humor. The innocent versions, what passengers think. The TSA agent confiscates your $150, but 4-ounce face cream. You roll your eyes. Great. What was I going to do with that? Moisturize the pilot to death? The agent takes your nail clippers or a small file. You say sarcastically, "Take good care of that, it's my primary weapon. I was going to hijack the plane with it." An agent is a bit rude. You turn to your partner. "If that guy yells at me one more time, I'm going to attack him." Why it's dangerous. The insider info. TSA agents do not speak sarcasm. In their world, irony doesn't exist. Keywords exist. When you jokingly say weapon, attack, or hijack, they operate like a computer algorithm. If word equals weapon or hijack, then protocol equals threat. They don't care that you lost your expensive face cream. They care that you just used threat words and are now establishing a profile. Your sarcasm makes you unstable and aggressive in their eyes. The incident I saw, Catherine's story, Los Angeles, LAX. A very busy Monday morning. A well-dressed, clearly important businessman was in front of me. He was already mad he had to take his shoes off. He beeped walking through the metal detector and got pulled for a secondary wanding. He huffed, "What else do you want?" "You do all this, and the real terrorists get through." An agent heard him. Not even the agent wanding him, but one from 2 lanes over. "What was that, sir?" The man, instead of apologizing, doubled down on his sarcasm. I said, "This is ridiculous. Do I look like a terrorist to you?" That was the worst possible thing he could have said. He used the T word. Within 2 minutes, the LAX police were there. They pulled him aside to calm down. The more he fumed and said, "Do you know who I am?" the worse it got. I highly doubt that man made his flight. The consequence. What will happen to you? Police involvement. A potential charge for verbal assault of a federal officer. Being denied boarding for erratic behavior. The captain has the right to refuse you. And worst of all, earning that little S stamp, secondary security screening selection, on your boarding pass for life. What to do? The solution. Are you angry? Do you think the rule is stupid? Great. Shut your mouth. The security line is not the place for your constitutional freedom of speech debate. Let them throw away the expensive cream or the nail clippers and move on. Your vacation is worth more than the cream. Be quiet and go. Praise 4. Jokes about medical conditions or drugs. This is an incredibly easy trap for the 45-plus crowd to fall into. Because many of us, myself included, travel with medication, and this situation sometimes leads to nervous jokes, the innocent versions, what passengers think. The TSA agent opens a bag containing 10 different prescription bottles. The passenger laughs, "Ha ha ha ha, I've got so many pills you'd think I was a drug mule," as the agent searches the bag. "Be careful, you don't want to get pricked by one of those needles," referring to insulin pens. While waiting in line, "This line is killing me. Why it's dangerous? The insider info. Drug mule. Killing me. Needles, which can be perceived as a weapon biohazard." You are talking about an innocent health issue. They are hearing drugs, death, and weapons. The TSA and CBP are also trained to spot illegal narcotics trafficking. When you make a drug mule joke, their job is to assume you are not joking and proceed. The incident I saw, Catherine's story. I was in Atlanta, the busiest airport in the world. A man was putting his carry-on through, which was clearly full of medical supplies. The bag, of course, was flagged. As the agent began to open it, the man, in his 60s, tried to be helpful and made that icebreaker joke, "Be careful, son, there are so many chemicals in there I could probably blow up a pharmacy." Blow up and pharmacy, a reference to illicit drugs. The man knew he'd made a mistake the second he said it, but it was too late. The security lane was shut down. That bag was now treated as a potential chemical threat, which had to be handled by an EOD team. I can't even imagine what happened to that man. He definitely did not travel that day. The consequence. What will happen to you? Your medical supplies are treated as hazardous materials. Your medication, even if prescription and vital, may be tested, delayed, or permanently confiscated. You risk being detained for making a chemical threat. What to do? The solution. Be clinical and boring about your medication. What's this? It's my prescription heart medication. What are these needles? They are my insulin pens for my diabetes. Never use the words drug, running a pharmacy, smuggling, or killing. Your medical condition is not a joke, especially not at the airport. Phrase 5. Questioning. The security procedure. This is the most subtle mistake of all. This looks like friendly curiosity, but it registers as threat assessment in a security officer's mind. The innocent versions, what passengers think. To the TSA agent with a friendly smile, "Wow, it's busy today. Is there some kind of threat alert?" To the agent, with curiosity, "Why are you swabbing some bags but not others?" What's the procedure? Noticing a lot of police. "Wow, is there a drill today, or did you guys catch someone?" Why it's dangerous. The insider info. There is a term in security called hostile reconnaissance. This is when terrorists or criminals, before an attack, scout the security procedures, weak points, and staffing levels. And how do they do it? By asking exactly these kinds of innocent questions. When you ask, "Is there a threat today?" the alarm that goes off in the officer's head is, "Why does this person want to know our security level? Is this person looking for a weakness?" The incident I saw, Catherine's story. I was part of this one, thankfully not as the victim. I was in a long security line at Chicago O'Hare, ORD. The woman in front of me was a very sweet, chatty lady from Texas. She was making small talk with the TSA agent checking her ID. My goodness, these new body scanners are so slow, aren't they? Weren't the old metal detectors faster? Why did you all switch? The agent just looked at her, didn't answer, and just took her ID and boarding pass. He looked at her boarding pass. He handed it back, but she didn't notice. He had scribbled a small code on the back. Guess who got the dreaded SSS on their boarding pass at the gate? And guess who had to go through a 45-minute full-body pat-down and chemical wipe test before she could board? All for questioning a faster procedure. The consequence. What will happen to you? You are instantly flagged as suspicious. You will be selected for secondary security screening, SSSS, on that flight and possibly on all future flights. You may be put on a covert watch list. What to do, the solution. Never ask questions about, comment on, or suggest a better way for security procedures. You want to talk to the agents? Great. They often appreciate small talk. It shows you're relaxed. Safe topics to discuss. The weather. It's cold out there today, isn't it? Sports. Did you catch the game last night? Your destination. Flying to Phoenix, looking forward to the heat. Dangerous topics to discuss. Their job. The procedures. Any threats? The scanners? The police? And there you have it. 5 innocent phrases, 5 potential disasters, jokes using the B word, jokes about smuggling, sarcasm about weapons or hijacking, medical jokes about drug mules or needles, questions about security procedures or threats. Look, I get it. None of us wake up thinking, "I'd like to get arrested at the airport today." The people who make these mistakes aren't bad people. They are just nervous, tired, and most importantly, untrained travelers. The airport is a theater. The normal rules of social interaction do not apply, and your role is to play the boring, predictable, non-threatening passenger. Don't spend your hard-earned vacation money and time on a cold metal bench in an interrogation room. Get these 5 phrases out of your vocabulary. Be quiet, be polite, without the sarcasm, and move on. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments below. Have you ever witnessed someone say something colossally stupid at security? Or do you have a near-miss story of your own? I can't wait to read the best ones. And if this video just saved your or a loved one's future vacation, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I want to fill this community with smart travelers who understand the system and beat it. I'm Catherine. Thank you for watching. And in my next video, we're moving on from words to actions. We're covering the 5 passenger behaviors that flight attendants truly hate and how one of them might be costing you or earning you a free drink or a better seat. You don't want to miss that. safe and smart travels.